you're a Democrat and you've been spending your entire career swimming in corporate money, and now you're primaried by someone who is not taking that sort of money, that can make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. It makes you look bad, potentially corrupt. And at times, you might go to extreme lengths to try to reclaim the moral high ground, but you just might end up looking silly doing it. And so for an example of this, I want to turn to a Texas primary that's going on right now. This is, it was the first announced Justice Democrat primary against Henry Cuellar. Jessica Cisneros is the candidate. And let's talk about how they've raised their money so far. A few months have now gone by. Jessica Cisneros, she announced on June 13th, she's reported $147,000 in donations, the majority of which, $118,000, were under $200 from individuals and therefore were unitemized. All of these contributions are attributed to individuals, and she has vowed not to take money from corporate political action committees. Obviously, she's a Justice Democrat, that shouldn't surprise you. Now on the other side, you have Cuellar. He raised $311,000, so more money. About half of the donations came from individual contributions, and the remaining, a little bit more than $150,000, from various PACs. Now, those numbers overall, I mean, if you're Jessica Cisneros and you're doing this primary, you're very proud of yourself, and she in fact is. She says, "I'm proud to be the only candidate in this primary who is not taking money from out-of-state Republican corporate interests like the Koch brothers. Our campaign is powered by small dollar contributors, not corporate PACs and Republicans." So this is obviously good news for her. It's gonna lead to some good press. But the Cuellar campaign is fighting back in a bizarre way. Colin Struther, who's a campaign spokesman for Cuellar, said that Cisneros' campaign is operating on dark money since 80% of her contributions are undisclosed. Contributions may be unitemized if they amount to less than $200 per donor per campaign cycle. Those shady grandmas donating $30.
Yeah.
Dark money.
No, I mean, they say it with a straight face.
Hold on, there's more.
No, I know, but let me jump in on that one. So if you don't know politics at all, you might be like, oh, I mean, on the one hand this, and on the other hand that, and they both seem to have dark money. No, by law, you don't report things that are under $200, because basically, nobody's buying you for $35 or $7.50.
Yeah.
You report the ones above $200 because that might influence you, to say the least. So Cuellar's people says, yeah, we got hundreds of thousands of dollars from 80 PACs that are giving us money to buy us. And I hear their PACs are, there's a million, like, well, there's 80 of them, but Phillips 66, AT&T Federal PAC, and it goes on and on. Okay, so oil companies are like, hey, oh, you're a corrupt Democrat that votes with Republicans? Perfect, here's a wad of cash. And the Cuellar's people turn around and go, yeah, but on the other hand, that actual voter in our district gave her $12. Yeah, you say tomato, money. I say tomato.
Yeah. So look, I went on his Twitter account, the spokesman, and he has doubled and tripled and quadrupled down, saying it's the definition of dark money. I can't wait for Ken Klippenstein to get at him on Twitter. And so they're all in on this, but it goes a little bit farther. Let me read one more comment from him. He said, speaking of Jessica Cisneros, she wants to pretend she's on some moral high ground, but she's hiding information from the district. She could file an amendment tomorrow that tells how much these people gave and who they are, but she won't. And so we're gonna get to a comment from her campaign in a second. Cuellar, to the extent, like I'm talking directly to him, if you want to regain anything approaching in sight of the moral high ground, you gotta get this guy out of your campaign, because that's madness. That's like something some Trump crony would say. That's just crazy.
But Cuellar is a Trump crony. He votes with Trump 70% of the time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remind you, this is a Democratic primary. He's called Trump's favorite Democrat. So of course they do Trump-like tactics.
Yeah.
But we haven't even gotten to the funniest one. So claiming that under $200 is dark money, the equivalent of the massive amount of donor money that he's getting from Republicans and corporations, etc., already hilarious. But the spokesperson also said, oh yeah, I know that Cisneros is not getting corporate PAC money, but those PACs wouldn't have given her money anyway. Are you serious, man? Are you serious? Yeah, they wouldn't have given her money because unlike your boss, they can't buy her. She's not corruptible. And they're like, oh yeah, so what? The oil companies wouldn't have tried to bribe you anyway. You couldn't even get their bribes like we do. What?
Yeah. Oh, you think I'm stuck down here? I can dig faster.
Okay, Jessica Cisneros for Congress.com. Jessica Cisneros for Congress.com. And of course, who's the Democratic Party supporting? You want to guess? Of course, the guy who was Trump 70% of the time. Okay, they're supporting Cuellar because they like how dirty and corrupt he is.
It's just ridiculous. It's laughable. It should be a national embarrassment. But so she's a great candidate. I believe she's been on the conversation. We talked to her on the damage report. So I reached out to her and I said, "Do you have anything to say about these ridiculous charges?" And she sent me this from Danny Diaz, campaign manager for her campaign, says these are desperate antics from Henry Cuellar's campaign, straight from the Trump and Republican playbook. I guess he's feeling vulnerable. Jessica is used to taking on bullies in the courtroom and is happy to do it in this campaign. Cuellar is trying to muddy the waters by comparing our grassroots small dollar campaign with his campaign funded by large corporations, their PACs, and Republican billionaires like the Koch brothers. Almost 1/10% of his donors are small dollar contributors. That's how little he is accountable to everyday working people.
No, I want you to observe those two things. If you're a Democrat taking money from the Koch brothers, are you really a Democrat? I mean, with this Democratic leadership, the answer is yes. I bet Pelosi's like, wait, they're giving us money? Cuellar, why didn't you tell me? My brother, come on, let's go vote for Trump together. Okay, but if you're an actual progressive, you don't want any piece of that. I mean, that is corruption defined. But the funnier fact is the second one. They're like, what do you mean? We have small dollar donations too. 1/10% of our donations are under $200. I mean, if you vote for Cuellar, it's just you. Like, I don't think he's going to get a single voter that has paid attention. I'm being serious about that. He has name recognition, so people who are going to vote for the presidential race or a primary because Texas will be very relevant, right? For the primaries at the presidential level, maybe they're excited they want to vote for one of those in the primaries, right? But
it's gonna be a big Senate primary too.
That's right. And you go, oh, Cuellar, I've heard of him. You check that off. I understand that, right? But if you heard anything about this race, you're gonna vote for Jessica Cisneros, because I mean that. By the way, this is a very blue district. You know, oftentimes the corrupt Democrats will use the excuse of, oh no, I'm in a purple district, and Republican voters love corruption. So I mean, I got to be corrupt. What can I do? Okay, no, Republican voters don't like corruption either. Okay, they got 1,000 problems with them, but liking corruption is not among them. So there's no reason why Cuellar should continue to represent Democrats in Congress when he votes with Republicans an overwhelming majority of the time, even under Trump.
Yeah. The one additional issue that could lead to him coasting through is that he is, as you saw, he is getting a lot more money. He's the incumbent, he's taking money that she's not taking. If only there was a way to nullify that advantage. Well, there is, you can donate, and you could give her dark money is what you can do. The darkest of money at Jessica Cisneros for Congress.com/donate.
Yeah, and we'll have the link down below if you're watching later on YouTube or Facebook. You always check our description box. We got great links there for you guys. And in this case, seriously, the only way that people are going to know about how bad Cuellar is if Jessica Cisneros has enough money to get that message out.
Yeah.
That's what do you need the money for? You need it for your team, and you need to get the message out. So if people find out about Cuellar, he's gonna be a goner. Who can make that happen? Literally you guys, you can make that happen. You give small dollar donations and you get to feel like a dark money donor and get an actual progressive in Congress.
Jesus.
Well, hey, you made it this far. You must really like the Young Turks. Thank you, we really appreciate you. Now, another easy way to keep supporting us also helps keep your internet activities and data private, all with a push of the NordVPN app. Head to nordvpn.com/TYT right now for 75% off of your next 3 years.